We have some photos this morning of a prototype of the 2027 GMC Sierra 1500. This reveals some changes at the front end, some changes at the rear end, and a new screen. Plus, we know it's going to come out with some new V8 engine options. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. There's some breaking news early here in Nebraska. So it's on the website, pickuptrucktalk.com. I just finished writing it up. Let's take a look at what's going on with the GMC Sierra 1500. Now, a few months ago, we had photos come in from the Chevy Silverado 1500, and our spy flapper says there's some distinct details that make this the Sierra and not the Silverado. So let's get into what he says. So here we go. Here are the spy photos. You can see I have a little logo on top of them. This is the deal I make with spy flappers. I buy these photos from them and then present them to you. This is how the industry works. And so as we go through these, you can see some changes here. This is on a testing facility. And we have the same kind of exterior design as you'd imagine. The way the cabins have changed the last, I don't know, probably 2 decades or so, they've been consistent with the way the cabin is, the size, overall exterior dimensions. What's changing a lot is the exterior front fascia, the rear, and inside the cabin. So he says we get a first look at a prototype of the 2027 GMC Sierra 1500. That's 6 months after the first glimpse updated 2027 Silverado 1500, which you can find on this channel. I did a video on that as well. So the Sierra 1500 prototype is identified by a unique makeup of its camouflage. So it's adapted to accommodate the styling differences between Chevy and GMC's full-size truck. So we can see some differences. We'll look more at this. So this is the new front fascia. And it's sometimes hard to see through the camouflage, but sometimes we can pick up some differences. So the new grille design shows the front camouflage mesh. This is what the spy flapper said, with a portion blacked out to accommodate GMC's logo on top of the grille. So there's a GMC logo up in here on top of the grille. You can kind of see where that little white stuff there is. And we have the headlights with daytime running lights on their DRLs. Looks like this is about the same. We have down below the little box that's for your adaptive cruise control and things. And then we're also talking about how there's the fresh design of the front bumper. We revised air intakes. So some air intakes over here. He says that again is another clue that's not the Silverado 1500. Looks like they're right up in here. Right there. Maybe is what he's looking at. And he says, despite the heavy vinyl camouflage, the way the light hits the contours, it appears that there might be more expressive surface development applied to the sheet metal. So he's thinking about bringing a beefier stance of the mid-size Canyon to the full-size truck. The tail lights. So this is getting around the tail lights end of this. We're still going to see the bumper stuff. You can see that with the camouflage. We still have a quad tip exhaust, which is what they've done throughout the lineup. So we're getting rid of the HDMIs. Remember those little look like HDMI connectors? We're doing quad tip, which is like similar to what the Acadia has done, similar to what the Yukon has done. So we're moving away from, again, those HDMI stuffs, incorporating what they've done elsewhere in their lineup. And then we're going to look at it's the different placement of the LED signature. Looks like we're going to be over here a little bit more with LED signature. And then the huge display. So this is a big display here. You can see this cord is for their testing equipment, and you see those camouflage. But this big display here looks like it's vertical, which would make sense because the rest of the GMC lineup from Yukon to Acadia has gone with a vertical display, which I'll show you more about that. I have a photo for that as well. And then managed to keep a glimpse of the Sierra interior, open window. And so this is what the interior could look like. This is from the Sierra EV. I just had this a couple weeks ago. And this is where the direction of GMC is going. They have this long vertical display instead of the horizontal display like you'd find in the Chevrolet vehicles. So another thing, they're able to make the brands different a little bit by having the different orientation of the screens. So this could be the way that screen looks like. And I really do hope they have the same seats they do in the Sierra EV going 1500, because the seat comfort in the Sierra EV is exceptional. They're amazing seats, really comfortable, really great interior. And this could be a really knock it out of the park home run for them if they nail this interior. That's one of the things lacking when the 2019 model came out, was the interior fell flat versus the competition. So I could see this being a really big home run for them. They can knock that out. Now, we've talked also about new V8 engines. This is not a secret. GM is working on new V8 engines. There is a plant upstate New York. This is what you guys, the audience, told me to say, because I cannot say the name of that plant to save my life. So we're saying the upstate New York engine plant or propulsion plant, whatever. GM has made an $888 million investment in this plant to build next generation of V8 engines. So here's what's going to happen with those V8 engines. So I said in the article, for those who don't love cylinder activation, lighter weight oil recommendations, and more advanced engine technologies, sorry, these engines are going to have it. It's just that's the way things are going. We may even see gasoline particulate filters as well. It's just these engines are going global. No matter what happens here in the United States, that's the development GM is going with these engines. That's what's going to happen. They're also going to get some sort of electrification. So that's going to mean that you're either going to have a hybrid setup with these engines, like you said with the Ford F-150 Power Boost, where the hybrid is a battery that works with the engine and consists like a parallel series. So when you hit the accelerator, the battery kicks in with the engine at all times. Or it will be a plug-in hybrid system where you'll have a small battery run off, maybe 20, 30 miles of just battery-only range, and then you'll plug that in overnight, and then you run off the gas engine when that battery is depleted. One of those two things are going to happen. GM's talked about either one. They've talked a lot about plug-in hybrid versions of the Sierra and Silverado. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting thought. Nobody's done it yet. As far as I recall, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen one in my 15 years of covering it, maybe even 20 years of seeing a plug-in hybrid full-size truck. I know GM did some hybrids back in the late 90s, but I don't believe those were plug-ins. So it's interesting. They'll see one of those two things can come from the V8 engines. And now when we will see it, well, probably going to see it next year. I'm kind of excited. The North American International Auto Show, which is the Detroit Auto Show, is coming back in January. I'm not excited to be in Detroit in January. I can tell you that much. But I'm kind of excited to see these auto shows get back to maybe the cool days where we had big displays and big launches and stuff. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I hope it happens? Yes. I would love to see those shows get back. GM is going to be a key exhibitor at that North American International Auto Show in Detroit. Will they do a reveal there? It's a lot of money to do reveals, so I don't see them doing it. But it used to be they do the reveal in January, new truck come out in August. So I would love to see that happening. Love to see a big reveal. One year, Ram drove a truck through glass. I mean, there's all these famous stories that happen through the years of Detroit Auto Show. So I would love to see that come back. I don't know if it will, but it'd be great if that came back and we saw this GMC Sierra and the Silverado come out. Can you imagine a one-day event where they launched the Silverado and then they launched the Sierra? That'd be amazing. I'd be amazingly busy and tired, and you guys would be watching all sorts of content everywhere and reading all sorts of stuff because there'd be a lot of news made that day. So it'd be cool. I wouldn't, like I don't like the Detroit River in January. I don't care what I wore over those years when I was down there at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. That river and the humidity in January cut through everything, and I was frozen by the time I got to the auto show. But it was cool, and you were dog tired after that long day. So that's the details for you in the 2027 GMC Sierra 1500. So I think we're going to say the Turbo Max engine, 2.7 liters, is going to carry on. The Duramax diesel 3-liter is going to carry on. People have been talking about the death of that for whatever reason. Rumors online are ridiculous. That's going to carry on. The V8s will be redone, and yes, any recalls and that, any issues with quality supplier issues, that's all taken care of. They will have all the same cylinder activation, all that kind of stuff is going to carry on. The 10-speed automatic transmission is going to carry on. They will fix whatever valve body issues they're having. They will fix those issues. That's going to carry on. We'll see changes front fascia, changes rear fascia. We'll see the new interior, hopefully the better seats. And then we'll see some adjustments to trim levels. And then what I'm really hoping for is that Chevy and GMC, both of them, come out with more of an aggressive off-road truck. Get the ZR2 to really compete with the Raptor. Get the Sierra AT4 to really compete with the Raptor as well, as more of a premium version of that truck as well. I'd like to see some 35s. I'd like to see some better suspension setups. I'd like to see some really aggressive off-road trucks. I think that'd be really cool if GM can get to that point. So what do you guys think? Put your comments down below. Be curious to read those. Check out the website at pickuptrucktalk.com. Other videos up over here. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.